that China is opening up new coal-fired power stations every week. We're struggling but intending to shut ours down. How this can possibly benefit the economy is a question that few, other than people such as yourself and the readers of The Spectator, seem to be asking. You know, China seems to be getting cheered on by the teals for what it's doing for renewable energy. So who can figure that out?
I think China have played, and, you know, as a former diplomat, Rebecca, you would see this. They have played the West like a violin. So, you know, they pretend to go along with the decarbonisation and renewables and the like. But really their aim has been to encourage the West to do that, because they are essentially the monopoly suppliers of most of the equipment. So, you know, they're dominant suppliers of the wind turbines, and they're almost monopoly suppliers of the solar panels, and they're also dominant suppliers of the batteries. So it really is a fabulous outcome for them, because not just economically but strategically, that kind of dominance is something that the Chinese government must think, you know, all their birthdays have come at once.
Meanwhile, you write that B1, you know, not content with what he's doing to, you know, manufacturing, as in aluminium smelting in Australia, is also talking about restricting the use of fertilisers. Now, is this because he's signed up to the global methane pledge? What's going on? Well, that didn't work out so well, I think, in either Sri Lanka or in Holland, did it? So what's the story?
So B1, he's moving, you know, there's the electricity system, you know, that's a work in progress, but he's decided to deal with the farmers, deal with road transport, of course, and also waste management. So with the farmers, there is this thing called the Global Methane Pledge. It was around when the coalition was still in power. DFAT, bless their little hearts, they were very keen on the idea, but the hardheads in the coalition said, well, we're not going to do that, because the only way, it's a 30% reduction in methane emissions by 2030 compared with 2020. Biden signed it because someone told him, I hope he was listening, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, that if they fixed up all the leaking gas pipes in the US, they could meet the pledge. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but they have no intention of going after their farmers in the US. But in Australia, we're going to have to reduce the size of herds. Dairy farmers will have to reduce the size of herds, you know, sheep farmers, dairy farmers, also, cattle farmers and the like. And also, as we saw in the Netherlands, they don't like the use of nitrogen-based fertilisers, because that releases nitrous oxide, which actually has not been proven to contribute to climate change, and is a very short-lived gas, but what the heck. Again, B1's not too worried about the details. So there really is, I think, a very significant attack on farmers. The only upside I see is that the NFF, which is an appalling organisation and has been led by people who really didn't get it, including endorsing net zero, I think they're up for a very big shake-up, and there's going to be a change in leadership. And, I mean, they're going to have to fight back.